So I'm going to start with an apology. If this video is slightly below my usual vigor and passion and gusto, it is not because I do not care about the subject matter I'm talking about. It is because it was Cuddle's birthday on Friday, and we may have finished celebrating at 5 o'clock this morning when we finally got home. And I'm an old man now, and I can't be doing such things. So yeah, I am really tired at the point of recording this. I kind of just want a hot bath and bed, and maybe a cocoa and some slippers and a bag of Werthers, and just tell young people about what it was like when I was young. So yeah, apologies if I'm not quite up to normal performance. So what are we talking about today? We are talking about Borderlands 3. Yes. Now you may be wondering, Grim. Now you're old. You forget things. You've had a long weekend. Bless you, diddums. Which is shocking because I actually left the house, but you're playing Borderlands 2 here. You are aware of that. I am. As you may know, big part of the drama that was surrounding Borderlands 3 was that it was an Epic exclusive. And yes, I'm one of those people that has stated that I won't be playing anything on the Epic Store. I just don't agree with it. It is a personal opinion. That is not to say anybody else should follow my lead or anything else. You do you, baby. So I've said all along, you do you. I've had many friends. All my friends at the beginning came out and said, "Yeah, not doing the Epic Store. Don't agree with it. Don't like its ethics or anything else or what it means for gaming." And slowly, as a title has either become an exclusive or a game suddenly popped up, they will go, "Oh, well, no, I don't agree with the Epic Store, but I do need to play this game." And so they've stopped their embargo, whatever you want to call it, and oh, there's Matt. Hello, Matt. I'm fine, by the way, buddy. But, professional, mine. But, yeah, I don't blame anybody for that, but I'm sticking to my guns, and I'm not partaking in the Epic Store. Now, that was the beginning of the drama. Then the drama descended into the reviews for the game. So if you don't know about this, basically, there are a number of outlets that were denied copies of the game to review. And even the ones that were, they had to log into, I believe it was, they were given sort of access to a Epic account that had a copy of the game on. So it wasn't their account. They weren't sort of given a copy of the game to review. They were given access to an account that already had the game that was on the Epic Store, so they didn't. I mean, it's fine. It's the way it is, but it made it problematic. Now, the reason for apparently a lot of these companies not getting review copies was because of security reasons. It's not what the boys at Bomb were told. They were told that they weren't getting a copy because they poo-pooed the game. They were nasty to them at the E3, so they weren't getting a copy. Basically, this was all about meta and pushing that critic score up as high as they could possibly get, and it worked. I think only PC Gamer turned round and gave it 63, I want to say. Everybody else was in the 90s. But when you take the time to read those reviews, they are very much of the line that it's the same Borderlands. It's the same as it always has been. It's no different to the first, no different to the second. If you've ever played Borderlands for more than 5 minutes, you already know what you're getting here. Now, that's not to say it's a bad thing. Borderlands has fantastic gameplay. Always has. It's always just been a fun game. Might be nothing new. Now, this got me thinking with regards to the scoring that we have for games. I'm not going into too deeply on this, but it just made me think. Literally, while I was recording this, I suddenly thought, shouldn't games that are part of a franchise have almost a different scoring matrix or makeup to those which are one-offs? Now, you could say you can compare it to the genre, and that's fine, but when a game is actually part of a long-term franchise, there's more things that it needs to be judged on, primarily on its predecessor. So it's almost, I mean, Call of Duty is a prime example. You could say COD 4 was a gigantic leap from its predecessors, and it was. It revolutionized the franchise, created the foundation for what we have now as Call of Duty. Love it or hate it, it has created this legacy, this huge fan base, which I was once part of. But you could turn around and say, okay, COD 4, That's a 90 out of 100 for everything it had. Fantastic, amazing. But then you can look at World at War, which is an exact copy. For all intents and purposes, an exact copy. They just reskinned it. Yeah, weapon balance was a bit skewy, but you could argue the M16, the MP5 were out of whack in COD 4. So, you know, that's going to happen. But for all intents and purposes, World at War was a reskinned COD 4. But then you'd have to say, well, in terms of the franchise, it hasn't evolved. It hasn't changed. It hasn't progressed any. You just reskinned. So whereas COD 4 was a 90 for the shooting genre, is World at War. That got me thinking, where it's not, obviously. Because, I mean, at best, World at War was 5 or 6 out of 10. It didn't push the boundaries. It didn't go any further. It didn't go outside the box compared to its predecessor. Anyway, that wasn't even what the video was meant to be about. I was thinking about it while I was reading these articles reviewing the game, and it got me thinking. Now, you're all going to be saying, you know the game's out. Why are you talking about reviews and such things? Interesting thing is, the reviews from players are out, and the players have all said pretty much what PC Gamer said. And if you actually read between the lines, what all the reviewers said is that it's the same old, same old. There are very few mixed reviews. This is, for those of you that know it, the Marmite of games, it would appear. It's one of those, if you love it, you'll love it and ardently just defend it. You will get on that white knight horse and you will charge your defense whenever anybody questions the game. Or you will be, it's not even worth my time, it's dead to me, it's rubbish, it's awful. You know, it's either a 10 out of 10 for people or a 0 out of 10. Now, I obviously cannot say one way or the other, and I'm not going to. I'm not going to jump on a bandwagon either way, because I haven't played it, and that's not me. But I will be intrigued to see how many people are playing it in a month or two's time. Is it going to be more of the same? The diehard will play it, the casual player will just drift away, because there isn't actually that much to hold their attention. That would be my guess, but I prove me wrong. I'm more than happy to be proved wrong. So, be interesting to see. But this did not stop the insufferable Randy Pitchford going, woo! Oh my god, we've got more concurrent users than we had at all in Borderlands 2. This thing's amazing. It's epic. Haha, wink wink. See what we did there? It's fantastic. 22 million, I think, copies sold for Borderlands 2. And this is something like 48 million sold for Borderlands 3. But it makes me think, like, that's the thing they're crowing about. And it just makes me think, did we miss something? Did we lose something along the way of what Gamersgate was meant to be? Now, I know I'm not getting into the politics of where Gamersgate went to, but it started out as supposedly questioning the integrity of games journalism and questioning whether we can believe these reviews and what the future held. And that's at its purest, that's what it was meant to be. And it feels that we have forgotten that because certain developers and certain companies have waved the keys at us, the shiny keys, and we have just, as Red Letter Media said, consume. Consume. Don't question, consume. And there are... The last bit of this is potentially... love them or hate them, the crackers have turned around and said that... the hackers, modders, whatever you want to call them, have turned around and said the new security system on this potentially is keylogging. Now, I have no idea whether that's true or not. Nobody does at this time. I think they were going away to test it. If you want more of an interesting look at this, go look at It's a Gundam's video. He actually goes quite in depth into all of the mechanics and how potentially it's meant to be working. If it's true, it's terrifying and potentially could spark a whole new wave of gamer backlash against developers and journalism and everything else. It could be the spark that starts the next Gamersgate potentially because of all the things that potentially it could mean. Anyway, I definitely go watch It's a Gundam's video. It's very interesting. But for me, I want to err on the more softer side, which is Randy Pitchford coming out and saying those things, saying how amazing this was and all the sales and how great. And it feels like the gaming industry, for the most part, is much like Borderlands 3. It's safe. It's erring on the side of caution. It's formulaic. It knows not to push the boundaries in certain directions. Just keep everything safe. Keep the money flowing in. Keep producing these games. And in the game of Borderlands 3, losing its soul, losing its spirit was everything. That's what Borderlands was. It was a generic shooter. You shoot, you loot. And that was it. Its charm, its magic was in it pushing the boundaries, in making you laugh. And slowly throughout its time of being out, it's just diluted that. And it says to... That's a big reflection of gaming as a whole right now. And we question it when it suits us, but when it's our favourite trinket, our favourite thing waved in front of us, then we just go back to immediately consume, just munch on it, nom, 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 nom. Take my money, just take it. And it's sad because it's an industry we love and we adore, and we can feel it slipping away because of these larger developers. There are a few that are still fighting the good fight, and I mention that every time. You know, CD Projekt Red, Frontier, you know, and many others that are fighting the good fight. But if we don't do our part, then we're going to get Call of Duties every year. We're going to get FIFA every year. I mean, what's the biggest thing right now? Apologies to snap back onto Call of Duty. What's the biggest thing with Call of Duty right now? No minimap. It's the biggest thing with Call of Duty. That's seriously how they push the boundaries and they took the minimap away. It says to me the game hasn't developed. It looks graphically pretty. Whether that's true or not, again, I haven't played the beta, but that can't be it. You can't just be FIFA. They changed the team rosters. Oh, Call of Duty, they tweaked the graphics, finally. And they took a mini-map away. And then we get reviewers going, well, these are 90 out of 100 games. These are amazing. This is brilliant. The franchise has never been healthier. It's never been better. What happened to the reason they could make these franchises was because the foundation was so solid, was so well respected, so loved by gamers that we played it. And if it failed, then we let it die. We have this thing that if somebody questions it, if somebody says, well, I don't like this now, or this is, I'm not feeling this, we actually attack. We attack rather than talk about it. We don't open a dialogue. Anyway, this is old grim of a weekend of not sleeping. So I would say please like, subscribe, and share and do all that good stuff. But tomorrow I'll be back, and I promise I will be on fine form tomorrow. We're going to have a good one. We're going to be, I think, probably like 2 or 3 videos up tomorrow. I need to, yeah, I need to go lay down now. Have a little snooze. And then I'll be back at it. Have a great one, everybody, and I'll catch you all tomorrow.